And this guy had it printed in these professional law agencies. It was printed on Monday. You know, it was there on Sunday. You know, it must have cost somebody $2,000 or something to get that printed beautifully like that. And we go to the first court, and the judge is very interested. And the judge is asking me all kinds of questions. How did you do this? Why did you do that?
You remember his name?
How many people? Hoffman. I have a huge scrapbook on that. And Democratic Party. Does that help? The Democratic Party, and he says, and Mr. Young, why did you do this? And what's the importance of folk singing in American history? And what is this and what is that? And I tell the lawyer, I can't think of his name now, but he's a great guy.
Left court?
What?
The left court?
No. Oh, the guy was a hero. He really did a perfect job. Couldn't have done better. And the guy says to me, Izzy, when a judge talks like that to you, he's interested, you like around sometimes with science, he did this, he did that. When he shows interest in what you're doing, that means he lost the case.
Must look like a good time.
You understand? I was going to come in a judge.
The same thing happened with the Molina case. The judge was the most sympathetic judge.
Very sympathetic, that's the word.
Yeah, they did their own defense. He helped them. And then when he gave the charge to the jury, he gave the hell, and they were convicted, and they did a month in jail for running the theater basically illegally without permission. They didn't. The taxes weren't.
So anyway,
go ahead.
We make an appeal. You know, Izzy Young, with the help of the American Civil Liberties, makes an appeal. We go to the appellate court, and I'm dreaming. Boy, this case is going to go up to the Supreme Court. You know, an obvious case of people, imagine, singing a song. How could that be possibly called illegal in America? So the second court, unfortunately, there was a one-line decision in the New York Law Review and New York Times. Judge Hoffman's case is thrown out.
Oh, thrown out?
Yeah, one line. Now the thing is...
So you won on appeal?
Yeah. Very quickly also. I mean, it's so obvious that you got to have the right to sing in the park.
Yeah, it's so obvious that that the same kind of case keeps coming up over and over.
Now the people that were hurt, they could have sued.
They weren't so hip in those days.
Well, I don't. You can. Following what happens to the Civilian Review Board in New York City.
Civilian Complaint Review Board.
Yeah.
I know that. I had a complaint.
No, what happens? You see, the laws are nasty. That's the first thing you have to remember. It doesn't matter logically if you win a case, and then the next case 10 years later is the same case. Then you would need, all you need is a machine to press it in, and then the court says this case you win. No. It depends on the judge, the quality of the time, the politics. So go on.
Do you want to hear a story about how life changed in Greenwich Village in my time?
Yeah, I want you to get, we're going to go to like the closing third, why you left Greenwich Village and your life in Sweden, and how Greenwich Village has changed. Tell us, why did you leave our fair country?
I haven't answered that question to myself yet.
Yeah, but what did you think you would do?
Well, I had a young French girlfriend.
And she wanted to go to Sweden. That's why I went to Brooklyn College. Now go on.
And I'll tell you, it's a sad thing. I have a reputation now. The Village Voice, Howie Smith had a big article on me after I was in Sweden a couple of years.
When did you leave, by the way?
1973. And the article in the Village Voice said, and Izzy Young left with his friend's girlfriend to go to Sweden. And it wasn't his friend's girlfriend, it was his French girlfriend. You know, on a tape, you understand?
Oh, well...
so everyone was asking me, who did this girl, you know, that was his reputation I have.
You should have sued the Village Voice.
I should have sued the Village Voice. So, you understand, Oscar? A terrible mistake
well,
like that.
It's a better story.
And you can't defend yourself. So...
Yeah, you could. Did you send a letter in?
Oh, everyone knows the story, nobody repeats.
No, you wanted to... You thought it was a little more spicy that way.
I had a French girlfriend, a young girl, and for some reason, we hardly had to touch each other. She would get pregnant very easily. I mean, we were a perfect pair. And she didn't want to have a baby here. So we moved to Sweden.
So she got pregnant with that, you're sleeping with that, you
Well, we just went like this. Because I have friends
Change
that...
the bath water.
What?
They didn't change the bath water.
That's it. That can happen.
No,
Rare.
I have friends, they fucked their wives, for 6 years trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
And, we didn't have to try
Okay,
so
so
much.
she, you see, and see, up
I'm
until
blaming
now,
her.
I thought you had ideological reasons.
Ideologically. Well, I've been to Sweden 2 times, and I felt...
You felt America was going to hell.
I felt America was going... How did you know that? Yeah.
So tell us about what you didn't like about the village. And in other words, you had something pushing you out, and you had something attracting you there. Now, what didn't you like about the village?
Greenwich Village had gone to the dogs. There was nothing left that I could identify with.
What do you mean gone to the dogs? That's very vague.
There was nothing...
That's speciesism.
Species, okay. Greenwich Village had gone downhill.
Why?
There was
Business
only
had gone-
button stores, basket houses, poster stores, which had nothing to do with Greenwich Village. My idea of Greenwich Village was a Provincetown playhouse, park.
It was commercial, right? Did that become
Totally
more
commercial. When I came in there, when you came in there, it was totally commercial too, but there was room for little places. There could be little jewelry stores that sold jewelry for $6, $7, $8. There could be little bookshops. There could be little flower shops. You know, now there's just an Israeli pornography shop in the village, the biggest one in the world. And on
What
6th
street
Avenue.
is that on?
Well, that's actually the Waverly Theater.
Go on.
On 6th Avenue, there's 22, I've talked about this with Oscar, there's 22 different eating places on 6th Avenue between 3rd Street and Bleecker. One has got cookies, one has got green cookies, one has got blue cookies, and one has got Haagen-Dazs, and one has got brand muffins this.
All right,
and
so I'm going to be the devil's
advocate
now. But your place was also commercial, but it wasn't quite like these. I mean,
Well,
you were selling stuff.
His place was never money-making commercial. They could have been losing commercial.
Okay,
You know, it was nice.
those are the good kinds of commercials.
No, here's
That's the kind we anarchists like.
No, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
In other
We're
words,
living in a capitalist
If he
society.
was making big money, he could use that place as a write-off.
yeah, you know that joke. This is a non-profit organization.
Yeah, but we didn't plan it that way.
We didn't plan it that way. But I was actually a member of a non-profit co-op and it worked for one. So
I got to
go
tell
on,
you,
go on.
I have the proof that the village had gone to hell.
Yeah.
You're right, Izzy. Greenwich Village is turning to shit. You can't walk on McDougal Street. It's not pleasant anymore. You know, in the time you remember that little Italian clam shop across the street where you get clams?
Yeah.
That was managed, that was personal. You remember the little pasta place around the corner from you? That was owned by an Italian family. It was a real family place. And now, what do you got now? Reggio, all these places, they're ripping off people, Cafe Wa ripping off people. And he said, Izzy, you're right. The village is shit. There's no place for families anymore. There's no respect for people anymore. They all disappear.
McDonald's, right?
The problem is that these commercial places only sell what's selling now. Now, I'm not against Koreans, I'm not against Vietnamese. They're selling postcards on 4th Street. It's got nothing to do with 4th Street. They could be on 42nd Street also. You understand that all these food stores could be on 42nd Street. They're there only because it's a high-volume tourist area. There's nothing to do with culture, nothing to do with the songs Bob Dylan, Izzy Young, or Provincetown Theater, or...
All right, so let's jump ahead now. You moved away from for those reasons too. Now you come back. How many years have you been in Sweden?
23 years.
So what has happened?
4 months and 12 days.
Since you left?
My rap.
Since you left and came and until now, have things stayed the same, gotten worse, or gotten better? From this point of view, the culture of Greenwich Village.
The culture of Greenwich Village is disappearing.
And what? Yeah, and what about? Do you know the
And what I
East
see
Village?
instead-
Did the East Village replace? Become what Greenwich Village is?
There's a lot of interesting places on the east side. And one problem I have, because I walk a lot, I walk up 2nd Avenue, I walk down 1st Avenue, I walk up 3rd Avenue, I walk down East 7th Street all the way to Thompson Square, I walk down East 1st Street all the way down. And I don't know how you could afford to live in New York City now. There's got to be 200 times more restaurants now than there were in our time.
It's called Yuppie Town.
It's called Yuppie Town.
What
now.
happened in New York and all over America is that the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. So there's no place where a young person can come easily from out of town.
Well, if you have a lot of money, it's very easy.
Yeah, but if you
You
have
go
a lot
to
of
a
money, right.
you go to a sort of Jewish place, then right next to it is a
Yeah.
sort of a Thai place, and
Yeah.
right next to that is, you understand? So there's a lot more places to sit down and
So to return to the village, aren't there still like theaters and bars where music is playing? Bottom line is here, and
there's a few places left.
but
And on the East
it's not
Village,
as good
there's-
as it was. Then is that what we're saying?
There was the Cine. My daughter goes there all the
right.
time.
On the East. So in other words, whatever was really intimate and good and developing and good for young people and young artists has moved to the East Village.
Yeah,
Right.
except the Cine, which we went there
Yeah.
twice. We had a good time. Tuli went there 3 or 4 times in
Yeah.
September. They don't pay the singers anything. They're doing the singers a
Oh,
favor.
so then it's
Oh.
so then like it's
They're
still
doing
like
them a
the
favor.
good old days. It's still like the good old days.
They're doing them a favor.
How can you have it? You're complaining about commercialism, and now you're saying the singers aren't getting paid. Maybe those coffee shops don't make that much
Izzy,
money.
Beatty, you be careful.
Watch
Listen,
out, watch out,
These
I'm
people would
political
work for
lawyer.
nothing on McDougal Street
Yeah.
and come to me to borrow a set of strings. I said, why don't you borrow a set of strings from Manny Roth? I said, well, he's helping me. He's my friend.
Oh, they borrowed strings, and then they brought them back.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Of course, the reason they go to these places for free, now and then, and why they resented me, because they do a concert for me, they got paid real money, they do a real concert, but they play Cafe Waz, or the Village Gate, or, you know, whatever.
Would you say?
The guest, like somebody might see them. That's what we're all dreaming about. The
Yeah.
right person might see
Would
them.
you say that this has something to do with a capitalist market economy?
Unfortunately,
The
I-
relation of culture, you know, to, and especially culture that doesn't make money. There's
Well,
not
look.
much room for it. How
Smashing
is
Pumpkins.
a young artist,
Smashing Pumpkins. One of the guys dies last night.
yeah.
They charge $70 a ticket.
Yeah, but then he can
One of the
afford
kids
a
at my
good,
brother's house.
then he can afford a good funeral. See, that's how it works.
No. The kid pays $70. No chance to meet the artist or the musicians. They're going to hear something very much, as much as possible, like the electric sound on the album. But when I did a concert with Joni Mitchell or Patti Smith or Tuli Kupferberg or Ed Sanders, 22 people come, took in $11. You got $5.50, I got $5.50, and the people, we had a party afterwards. So the thing is, my concerts
We had
were
a party, that was it.
my concerts were like a formula. Everybody understood without saying it that this is no fucking way to make a living. But it was very important culturally.
And it was
Jewish
fun.
boys don't make a living like that.
And it was fun.
And
All right.
Al Grossman told me once at a concert, Izzy, you don't make a living from your friends. You understand? So when you read to me at the Folklore Center, it was our friends. We knew everybody in the audience.
Yeah.
So these kids that pay $70, they could have gone to the bottom line yesterday to listen to Peter Stamfeld, who's got some wild ideas about music and history and songs. And you can actually talk to him afterwards. You understand?
All right, so let's wind this up now, because I want to ask everybody here, and you might want to talk about it. We used to have a much more intimate society, and folk music, you know, really started among just people singing in their own homes and to their friends, neighbors, in the villages, and so on. And it had its really wonderful thing. And then gradually, you know, folk music became what we call pop, or it gets mixed up.
Folk rock,
There's
folk soul.
There's world music now, but there's also the internet and incredible technology and incredible expansion of capitalism, so that Murdoch owns half of whatever anybody uses to communicate all over the world. He buys half of the European TVs in China, and we have internet and so on. So now how? I know this is a difficult question, but we should think about it. So what? I don't know what to think about it. That's
Solution?
why. No, that's why I'm asking where does non-commercial art or good art of any kind fit into this mass worldwide system? See, the internet sort of breaks it down again, gives you a chance to be
So, in a country like Sweden, it's impossible.
What's impossible?
You walk down the streets of Stockholm, you think you're in New York City. All the advertising is in English, all the TV is in English, all the movies are in English, all the food is in English, everything's in English.
Or just a minute, there's one good side to that, especially since we know English. Like, there's a language that other people speak, like, when the Bugs perform in a strange country, say, like when we're invited to Japan, and I've seen audiences react to this Japanese audience. They don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
They're there to jump up and down. They feel that way. It's better if they know the language. But all right. But you want to talk now about what happens to the Swedish culture. What happens to that?
The Swedish culture is not shown on Swedish television. It's not heard on the radio. A Swedish artist can't compete with an American artist in their own country. So an American artist that makes it big can become famous and known in Sweden in 12 hours now. You know, it's power packed on the national radio. You can't compete with it. And the thing that's amazing for me is how the Swedes, drowning in American movies and American culture, they're still Swedish-style schmucks. You know, problems going around their head, can't communicate with people, don't talk, they're alone, which I think is actually closer to the human condition than the action movies.
All right, well, I'll just add one more thing, that this is not a problem that, this is a problem that modern advertising and modern communication has spread around, but it's been true that people who live in minor cultures, you know, there are a few thousand languages, there are only a few in the last few hundred years you can name them, like German, English,
French.
Spanish, French, and maybe in the East, China and Japan, that have been major cultural languages. So people who lived in Hungarians or Swedes or Finns, they always had this problem. And but they also had there's also an advantage, of course, to having a local culture and having an intimate art. So this is a problem that exists because we don't speak one language, but it's also overlaid and made and raised to 10th power with the imperialist culture that comes. Okay, so now what do you think about it? What are you thinking about?
Revolting. What's this all about? I'm thinking back how I used to call my brother a schmuck. I said, if I had your knowledge, I would be the richest man in the world. And now I think he was right, because money was important for him to get his bialy every morning and a cup of coffee, but he was in touch with the people, and money was the last thing that was...
And he had a good time.
He had a good time. He enjoyed his life.
He was doing something good.
Yeah, he really enjoyed his life.
But
Sylvia? Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I can't recommend this to a young kid to come to my store and do like I did.
Not if they want to have a family and send their kids to school.
So I end up with a family and I have a kid that's 21 that wants to become an actress in New York City. So at the tender age of 68, I'm going to have to stop making money for the first time in my life to support her. So she says, I work in New York City. I saw a very nice theater group playing in Washington Square the other night. I was tired, it was 10 o'clock at night, and there was a theater group playing Euripides, Hecuba.
I saw it.
And it was very good. And a lot of good things, and they're working with flashlights, and for a little light, and they're running up and down this phony grass that they changed Washington Square into foam instead of grass. And remember Grace Paley's boyfriend, we changed the park, April parks in those days. And they're screaming, and I said, oh my God, my kid, 21 years old, just graduated from a cook school in Paris. She's going to be out here screaming in a couple of weeks herself. Please support us. We have a company we're going for 7 years. Please send money, do anything. And so instead of giving a buck, I had to give him $5. You're going to have to give $5 also when you go to Washington Square now.
Yeah, by now you got it.
So I gave him $5. I said, this is incredible. People are serious. But then when you look at the credits for all the actors, you know, the woman who's playing this, she was in a sitcom comedy last week on TV. The other one was a sitcom comedy on TV. The other one was in a sitcom comedy. The only way they can live and make more than $50 at a time is playing in a sitcom comedy.
Well, you see the trucks come here to Soho to film stuff. They make idiot pictures on aliens, and it runs for blocks and blocks of trucks. There's hundreds of people in the crew. And then, but you see an ad, they're doing a fucking ad. There's 3 or 4 trucks here. There's 10 people in the crew. The 10, 20 people is going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to advertise some shit on TV that the consumer pays for. Now, Sylvia, do you have anything to contribute on this? He hasn't been listening. And just like your fucking audience, you better be listening to this because there's going to be a spot quiz on the next show.
Oh,
all right, now, Norman.
Do you want my address to send people so people can send me $5 bills?
Right. We're not allowed to do this. It's non-commercial. By the way, this thing exists as a miracle.
I have the same problem in Sweden. In Sweden, they'll say, so-and-so is appearing at a music shop in the south part of Stockholm. They'll say, well, why can't you put my name in it? So that's advertising.
Right,
but I say, you put it at the concert house.
Do you want people to contact you in Sweden?
Yeah, contact you.
No, not me. I don't do it.
I'm going into internet. I'll have an email in a few weeks. I'll send the information to Tuli.
All right, okay. All right, so now Norman is involved in computers and he knows all about the internet. And could you sort of tie this together and solve all of our questions here? All right, I'll ask you a question. We were talking about how better it is to have an art that's intimate and relatively non-commercial and where young people have a chance and so on. Now, how would you relate this to the new technology or to what's happening now in general and to the new technology?
Well, it's actually kind of interesting because until very recently, the internet was this big anarchistic mass of chaos where there was a lot of interesting little lists that people were getting on to get mail and talk discussion groups where people could get in and discuss things.
All over the world, right?
Yeah, all over the world, and people were sort of getting together in small groups and talking about everything you can think of. There's a couple of ones on folk music, and then the World Wide Web came into being, which allows you to get graphics and pictures and all of that, which everybody's having a mass hysteria over, getting the police on here too. And people had their little, like, mom and pop little pages, and you could have those intimate things. But now it's beginning to change, where there's a lot of big commercial players, and people are really trying to put up barriers again. You know, it's sort of a microcosm of the life of the rest of the world. You know.
So the pervading culture is. You see, that's why you wonder why BAI still exists and why public access. If BAI is like the best radio station in the region yet, if someone proposed a BAI now, they'd be laughed off the, that just couldn't happen. But you can't, you can't take it away because hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people like it.
Or Washington Park, people that were at that.
We were supposed to make a party here, you remember?
Yeah, we're going to have a reunion in the year 2000.
No.
In the year 1994.
Christmas time.
1984. Oh no, Christmas time. And you're all invited. You're all invited.
But yeah.
Of this
Make
year.
a date. No, really.
I'm putting in $100 of my hard, newly found money.
Well, I'll tell you, if this
I'll
ever,
put in $100.
Say $200.
if this ever actualizes, we'll give you the information. Our vast audience out there. And so we were going to.
It won't be a parade. It'll be. I'll give you an example. I met a woman the other day. She's 85 years old, and I really liked her. I fell for her. I just met her by accident with George Stoney, New York University. She's been working on film since 1929. She's a Greenwich Villager. Can you imagine somebody making film since 1929?
Yeah.
85 years old. Just signed the project for August. A big film. So the village has got all kinds of people like that survived the whole economic process, the whole everything. And I'm finding myself like visiting a lot of people now that would ordinarily be in the geriatric ward.
So
And they're not. They're
we'll
working.
even,
You should be in the geriatric ward.
I am. This is it. But we'll invite other people, younger people can also come if they have to be at least over 40. No. We don't trust anybody under 30.
$2 admission. They'd have to pay $2.
No.
And maybe bring some of their own food.
You know what I like? Voluntary contribution. Someone liable to give you $1,000 that
With
way.
the heavy,
Just ask them for
with the heavy
$2.
yardage front.
Right?
Right.
Voluntary contribution, and this is the big party. It's
They
called
can start
the,
sending the money in now.
Greenwich
They can start sending the money now. Yeah.
Greenwich, no, you can't do that over. Greenwich Village
No, no.
Holidays of
Earmark for a
2000.
Earmark for a-
No.
You want to do it
Christmas,
sooner?
Christmas '96
All right, Christmas '96 or 2000.
was a
Whichever
cast
comes
of thousands.
first. And by
We'll
that,
get Arthur Lugo for the Village Gate, Manny Roth, all the people I've been
Oscar
describing.
Brand,
Maybe Bob Dylan will
Oscar
drop
Brand,
down.
yeah, Robert Zimmerman, anyone who was
Dylan will be glad to show up. He
Say
helps
it.
out his old friends. Although people say he doesn't remember anybody below 14th Street. But after this movie thing I did to him, he's going to remember us.
So we're gonna wind this up now, and if you have any suggestions about,
Hey, can you explain to me why Jerry Brown is the main speaker in California?
and he's on BAI every day because he's the best thing on
Can you explain
the
that?
best thing on radio. Well, have you heard him lately?
No.
He's moved way to the left. He's a very smart guy and has a lot of good ideas.
I remember he was a
nice
right
person,
winger.
and a nice person. No, he was never that bad, but he.
When he was the governor of California.
Yeah, no, he's really a good
Just
guy.
a
If he
period
would have been
of
elected
fashion.
instead of Clinton, we would be in a much better spot. But anyway, so we didn't solve the questions of culture, large culture, major culture, small culture, and commerce, and our young people.
How much do I get paid for today?
survive. You get paid negative. You have to pay. I forgot to tell you. You have to
Got
pay
a cup
for
of water.
You have to pay for the tape.
Listen, I did a film for Bob Dylan this week. And I had to sign a paper that I have no
Get paid
rights
by
to the
Bob
film
Dylan.
for perpetuity.
Bob Dylan didn't pay him. He wants us to pay him.
That's okay. We
We
don't
work for
respect.
nothing.
Yeah, but he got
We
a
don't-
great
you
deal
don't
out of
We
it.
don't charge you.
You don't have to sign anything for us.
No, we're unsignable.
And it cost him $10,000 to do the film. so
We
I
thank
felt
Izzy a
like
lot,
a mensch, like a
and
person.
Oscar, and
Sylvia.
Norman, and Sylvia for her gentle listening to our Michigan. And you can send, if you can find the address, or you can write to us care of MNN. Look them up in the phone book. They're on East 23rd Street, Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
And if you have old
Revolting news.
photographs, old information on Greenwich Village, write to me in Stockholm.
Yeah, you want to
Through
give your
MNN.
address? Give your address.
No, I can't do it.